Buying a home can beat renting after only 4 years in one city and fail to catch up after 30 years in another. The outcome depends on the home price, the rent it replaces, the deposit, property tax, maintenance, and the cost of selling again. Indianapolis, Glasgow, Kuala Lumpur, and Dubai can reward a patient owner. San Jose may reward the renter instead. So where does ownership genuinely save money, and how long must you stay before the numbers finally turn? The rent versus buy debate is usually reduced to a single monthly comparison. A renter pays $2,000, while a homeowner pays a $1,900 mortgage. Based on cash leaving the bank account today, buying appears to be the logical choice. That comparison omits the full economic cost of ownership. A mortgage payment covers debt, but it ignores the friction of property taxes, insurance, and the risk of physical repairs. Financial success depends on the household's duration in the property. The total financial position only becomes clear once the asset is sold and transaction fees are settled. Rent acts as a fee for housing that preserves capital for other uses. A mortgage functions as a debt-leveraged investment that requires specific market conditions to build wealth. Total ownership costs include more than the bank payment. This stack includes mortgage interest, property taxes, insurance, maintenance, building fees, and the costs of buying and selling. This pie chart shows the two distinct functions of a mortgage payment. One portion covers interest, while the other reduces the principal. If the property holds its value, this principal becomes equity, a form of forced savings the owner can eventually reclaim. We must also calculate the opportunity cost of the 20% deposit. Locking large funds into a house means they cannot earn a return elsewhere. The homeowner gains leveraged exposure to one property, while the renter maintains liquid diversification, growing capital in the broader market. The final winner depends on the local price-to-rent ratio and how many years the resident stays in the home. Indianapolis provides a clear path to ownership. A $275,000 home balances favorably against local rents of $1,500 to $2,100 per month. In the first year, the owner's cash costs may actually exceed the renter's. After adding taxes and maintenance to the mortgage, the monthly bill often reaches $1,800 to $2,200. The scale tips as the owner reduces the loan balance. While the renter faces annual increases, the owner's mortgage principal remains fixed, creating a long-term advantage. Columbus follows a similar pattern. Using a $325,000 example, strong local demand keeps the purchase price reachable for households that would otherwise pay over $2,000 in rent. However, selling after only 2 years erases that equity. Brokerage commissions and closings fees can consume 5 to 10% of the home's value, penalizing short-term owners. In these markets, ownership typically breaks even after 4 years, provided the property is structurally sound and requires no immediate major repairs. Pittsburgh offers homes for $300,000, but high municipal property taxes weaken the case for buying. These taxes can push the monthly ownership bill well above the cost of an equivalent rental. Older housing stock adds further risk. A single $20,000 foundation or roof repair can add several years to the time needed to break even against a renter who avoids maintenance costs. Glasgow apartments often require collective repairs for roofs and stonework. An owner of a $240,000 flat must budget for these building-wide maintenance fees alongside their own mortgage. Financing in Scotland adds interest rate uncertainty. Many owners use short-term fixed rates, meaning their monthly costs can shift significantly when it is time to refinance. Because of these structural costs and taxes, the break-even period in these cities typically extends to 7 or 10 years. Kuala Lumpur features a heavy weighting toward the purchase price. A $220,000 condominium might rent for only $1,100, making it difficult for the owner to match the renter's monthly savings. With a large supply of units and varying management quality, resale liquidity is often low. This makes it harder for owners to exit the investment quickly without a price concession. Dubai operates differently, with high rents relative to purchase prices. A $400,000 apartment can command $35,000 in annual rent, which initially favors the buyer. Dubai lacks a conventional annual property tax, but it charges 6 to 8% in transaction fees on day one. High service charges further reduce the buyer's monthly advantage. These markets reward those who stay for 7 to 10 years. Short-term residents usually find that transaction friction and service charges outweigh the benefits of owning. In San Francisco, San Jose, London, and Seoul, purchase prices often reach 30 or 40 times the annual rent. These markets prioritize the renter. By renting, a household avoids six-figure down payments and high interest costs. This capital remains liquid and available for other investments, while the owner's wealth is locked in an expensive asset. Seoul uses the Jeonse system, where renters provide a large refundable deposit instead of monthly rent. This unique model makes a standard Western cost comparison impossible. In these Tier 1 cities, renting often remains the financially superior choice for decades, offering flexibility and capital protection that ownership cannot match. Within 4 years, ownership only wins with low entry prices and minimal friction, like Indianapolis and Columbus. At 7 years, principal repayment makes ownership competitive in Pittsburgh, Glasgow, and Dubai. After 10 years, the homeowner typically has a stronger financial position, assuming stable investments. To summarize, Indianapolis and Columbus offer the fastest break-even point. Pittsburgh, Glasgow, Kuala Lumpur, and Dubai require patience. San Francisco, San Jose, and London favor renting long-term. These ranges are representative estimates. Results change based on individual rates, taxes, and maintenance. Calculate what the household owns, owes, and has spent on the day they decide to move. That final balance sheet is more important than whether rent was wasted each month. We don't just ask how much money you have, we ask where that money works.